यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैको वशं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः. So we'll come back after a break. So we chant the shlokas till where we have to start from. This is where we have to start. Means we did it also, the chanting of it we did. Can we do it once? So this is where we commence. So in the previous shloka we saw that the way various factors for the manifestation of illness, Durdesha, Kala, Vyavahara, all those song, or all those we saw. And then here karma is being presented, or the mind, the state of mind is presented as a factor of illness. Karma and the influence of karma over the state of mind is presented as another factor for illness. So, Matihi is mind. So, what kind of mind? There are two divisions that are given. Praptani, Aihiki. So, Praptani Matihi, Aihiki Matihi. Praptani Matihi means the mind of the past. Praptana means the past. So, the mind from the past. And then Aihiki means Iha. Iha means now and here. The mind of the now and here. So, two types of minds. So, as I said in the previous class, that we don't come empty-minded. We come means preloaded software is already there in the form of karma. So, that Praptana Mati means there is not another mind. The mind with past vasanas and samskaras that we carry down from the previous janmas. So, this is all done in the framework of Indian philosophy, which is accepted across the schools. Be it Buddhism, Jainism, the Vedic system of philosophy, across all schools of thought, the Purva Janma, Karma, and even in Ayurveda and all our healing system, everything goes based on the theory of Karma and Purva Janma. So, and our Bhagavad Gita and such other literature also are very well formulated based on the theory of Karma. We can see the implication of that in the health dimension also. So, the influence or the implication of karma on the health dimension is brought out here. So, Matihi. So, Matihi Praptani, the mind from the past with its influences, vasanas, etc. And then Aihiki. Aihiki means in this birth, the mind of this birth. Since birth, everyone is located in various kinds of situations. We are brought up in various family setup, various family values, culture, practices, so many things are there. So, this mind which carries influences from the past also acquires so many influences here also. So, two major influences in the mind, Praptana influence and then Aihika influence is there. And those influences are again categorized into two, Shubha, Ashubha. So, certain favorable inclinations, influences are there, and unfavorable inclinations, influences, tendencies, nature, habituations, whatever word you put. So, they are there. So, now we have a kind of matrix. So, you can divide it like this, Matihi. I don't have this thing. I can show it. It's easy to visualize that. Matihi is there, mind is there. Two, Praptani, Aihiki. And the Praptani is also divided into two, Shubha and Ashubha. So the Praptana, whatever samskaras we carry forward to the next birth, it may have certain favorable tendencies. It may also, it certainly will carry unfavorable tendencies also. In the sense that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Purva Abhyasena Tenaiva Kriyate Yavashopi Saha. At the end, Arjuna is worried. Towards the end of the 6th chapter, you see Arjuna is worried when Krishna speaks about yoga, so many Samatvam Yoga, Uchata, all those things he speaks, and meditative practices he speaks in the 6th chapter. All this is good to listen, but it is very difficult. And then even before I get into because of your teaching, I will do yoga. But before reaching the goal of yoga, if I die, what will happen to me? That is the question that he asks. So, na gangata, na ghatka. So that will be my situation. So I was in a Vedic path doing my karma, doing my things. Now you dragged me into yoga. Now I get into yoga. Before seeing the siddhi of yoga, if I pass away, what will happen? To that Krishna says that Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahadobhaya comes in the 2nd chapter. He also says that whatever influences, whatever favorable impact put on to your mind, that will be carried forward to your next birth also. So those are assurances. So nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tavagachati प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वती समाः शुचीनां श्रीमतां देहे yoga bhrashta. That is the terminology he uses. What will happen to a yoga bhrashta means I started my practice but I have not reached the goal of yoga. So yoga bhrashta means not reached the goal of yoga. Nothing will happen to a yoga bhrashta. He will continue from where he left from his past birth. So any favorable influence you impact upon your mind, it will be continued in the next birth. That is Shubha Matihi Praktani. So that's a reference to Praktani Shubha Matihi. And then any negative activity that a person very impactfully does in a previous janma, that becomes Ashubha Praktani Matihi. So these will be carried forward. Just like the positive influences, the negative influences which are impactfully impressed on the mind will also be carried forward. And then next one is Aihiki. So in this birth you mindfully get into certain practices which are very favorable. Good lifestyle, good exercise regimen that you have, all those things you get into, and that becomes a very strong Shubha Aihiki Mati. Shubha Aihiki Mati. And then any negative sedentary unhealthy, not very healthy way of life, that becomes Ashubha Aihiki Mati. Do you see the four categories? So Shubha Praktani Matihi, Ashubha Praktani Matihi, Shubha Aihiki Matihi, Ashubha Aihiki Matihi. So we have four things. So why certain people behave in certain, why there is n number of behavior pattern in people, why one person is not like the other. So this is explained by this. There may be varying degrees of influence of these four factors. So then he says, after placing these four things, he says ya eva adhika, whichever is more powerful, whichever is more in influence, whichever samskaras which have been accumulated, accrued, strengthened, so saeva tatha tasmin yojayati krame. So that will be the factor according to its nature, yojayati. It will put a man or a person into certain behavioral patterns. Certain, it may be in various realms of life. So tatha in the same. So whichever is high of the four combinations which is given, whichever is dominant, so saeva, that itself will be tasmin, in any given action, yojayati, it will put a person krame, in that particular sequence. The person will act based on the proportion of any of these four. So that is the framework that is given to understand how a person particularly behaves, maybe both in physical health and in the terms of psychotherapy. I am not very sure, I don't want to get into all those things because I don't know much about it. In having a conversation with a person, understanding the influences, maybe we are able to understand what are the current life influences. Aihiki Shubha Matihi, Aihiki Ashubha Matihi. So then all that, so how do you get to the Praktani Shubha Matihi and Praktani Ashubha Matihi, whatever is left? So you considered all the factors of influence on the mind of a person in the current life, that whatever is his childhood and whatever, what kind of atmosphere and ambience that person was in his youth and in his place of work, in his family, all those you took into consideration, and then you may classify that these are the favorable influences, these are the unfavorable influences of this life. Then even after that certain things are inexplicable in a favorable or unfavorable manner, that we push it to Praktani Shubha Ashubha Matihi. So by implication, this we call it as Arthapatti, one of the pramanas, that is pratyaksha, anumana, agam, in that sense, arthavati by implication. All that which you could explain by your pratyaksha, anumana connected to this life, you explain. Rest of it, we understand that it comes from the past life. So by the arthavati, we can connect to the past life, this thing. Though we cannot do it directly. Maybe certain yogis may have a pratyaksha that what exactly happened. In third chapter of Yoga Sutra, you have lot of references. Pratyayasya parachitta jnanam. You know, by doing the sanyama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi on the certain aspects, you can get into the mind of other people to the past level also. We are not going into it. We are pragmatic physicians in that dimension. So whatever you can diagnose based on the current life things, that you understand as aihiki, shubha, ashubha, matihi. Rest we can put it in the praktani. So this kind of gives a framework, kind of how to understand the mind of a person, the workings of the mind, why a person behaves in a particular manner, even a person is aware of this is the right thing to do, not to lead a sedentary life. They do practice of asana, pranayama, do it, go for walking. Though I know, janami dharmam, nachame pravritti. Duryodhana says that I know what is dharma, but I do not do. So these are the factors which makes people behave in certain patterns by which they become ill or well. So the health behavior, see, this is discussed in the context of health. This is not about philosophy, not about karma or moksha here. Why illness are acquired in the physical and mental realm? Because of strange behavior pattern, and the behavior pattern is classified into or is analyzed or assessed based on the four categories: praktani, aihiki, shubha and ashubha. So because of that, we understand that people get various kinds of adhis and vyadhis. So while giving very many individual factors, Duranna Abhyavahara, Durdesha Akramana, Dushkala, Durjana Sangha, while giving specific points of instigators of illness, this is a broad framework of diagnosing illness, that these may be the factors of the workings of the mind which lead a person into healthy or illness generating behavior. So to that level, you can see how the mind of Vasishtha has worked. By giving the specifics of illness, he also gives a framework. I just want you to look at that level of analysis. Not only the specifics, but also the frameworks in which people behave in certain way to acquire illness. So that is also given in a very insightful way. And the ideal is given, the model is given, one can further think upon this framework and develop further understandings. Okay. Now we go to the next point, that yes, in detail, yes.
So then, is it also suggesting that Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi can negate or positively influence the Ashubha Praktana?
See, the point is, the answer is in the shloka itself. Jayeva adhika saeva tatha tasmin yojayati krame. This is both diagnostic and also prescriptive. So whichever you strengthen, what you can strengthen towards the wellness is Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi. You cannot do anything with Shubha, Praktani, Matihi. You cannot do anything with Ashubha, Praktani, Matihi. You cannot, only thing is you can desist from doing Ashubha, Aihiki, Matihi. What you can strengthen is Shubha, Praktani. This is the only tool that you have to strengthen, to manage, to effectively counter the negative influences of this. So that is the only tool. So you have to strengthen it, and strengthening comes through how to proliferate Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi. So the diagnosis is also there, solution is also there. Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi is the solution. What are all the factors of influence on Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi? Every yoga anga, every method of therapy, and every other positive inputs that you can give to the mind, that is Shubha, Aihiki, Matihi. And in Yoga Vasishtha, it is also later clarified that which is more dominant, Purushartha or Vidhi? Is it your destiny or your effort? Which is more stronger? There is a very long discussion in some other chapter of Yoga Vasishtha, and finally Vasishtha categorically says that all the negative influences of the past karma, destiny, whatever is that, can be overturned by Purushartha. What is Purushartha? It is not Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Purushena Akhyate means the endeavors of a human being. By a meticulous, acute endeavors of a human being, any situation can be changed. So, hence, the arm of the Aihiki, Shubha, Matihi, if that is strengthened, that is the tool for the managing any kind of influences.
Finally, it is intention.
Sir?
With what intention a person is going to work?
Yeah, intention is, in the context of health, it is healing. Healing. In that healing, all the tools that are available to strengthen the mind, that has been taken. Yes. So, now we come to the solution part of it. But Rama will not leave. He has some more question on Adhija Vyadhi and Anadhija Vyadhi. That will come later. But just now, as there was an intense discussion on Adhis and Vyadhis, what are the methods of healing that are prescribed according to Yoga Vasishtha? That we can see. And as I said, see, Yoga Vasishtha will speak about certain methods of healing. It doesn't mean that this is the whole and soul of healing. You have to put together the wisdom from Yoga, Shastra as such, Ayurveda as such, and any other methods of healing, and then put it as an integrated model, and then look at the solution. Yoga Vasishtha, to some extent, in its own limited context, it will give a solution. Always, as there was reference to Prana, as there was reference to Vata Pitta Katha. So it's a connected, integrated science that we have to see as a whole, as a solution. But still Vasishtha himself will prescribe certain methods of healing here. Yes.
So, in previous yoga, we can more related with vrittis also, like the Brahmini and Ahiti. We can more related with vrittis also.
They are samskaras.
Samskara.
What influence the vrittis? Samskara. So, negative samskaras from the past, positive samskaras from the past. Negative samskaras from the current life, positive samskaras from the current life, they influence our action. If action is taken as vritti, what are all the influencers on the action? These four are the influencers. What influence action? Mental action, samskaras. Samskaras influence the vrittis. So those are the four types of samskaras. You can also take it as a fourfold division of samskaras that Vasishtha gives. Okay. Now we go into the healing section. Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva.
Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva. Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva. Jayante
bhuta panchake.
Jayante bhuta panchake. Jayante bhuta panchake.
Katham shrudu vinashyanti.
Katham shrudu vinashyanti. Katham shrudu vinashyanti.
Raghavanam kulodvaha.
Raghavanam kulodvaha. Raghavanam kulodvaha.
Words Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva jayante bhuta panchake.
Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva jayante bhuta panchake. Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva jayante bhuta panchake.
Katham shrudu vinashyanti raghavanam kulodvaha.
Katham shrudu vinashyanti raghavanam kulodvaha. Katham shrudu vinashyanti raghavanam kulodvaha.
First shloka Adhayo vyadhayaschaiva जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः
आदयो व्याधयश्चैव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः आदयो व्याधयश्चैव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः.
Anyone wants to try? Without seeing? Sir?
Yes, आदयो व्याधश्चैव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
आदयो व्याधयश्चैव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः.
Thank you. So, we do the word split quickly. आधयः, व्याधयः, च एव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः. Can you all try? Here, व्याधयः च एव. आधयः, व्याधयः च एव. Otherwise, there is no word split. Let's all try. आधयः, व्याधयः च एव जायन्ते भूतपञ्चके कथं शृणु विनश्यन्ति राघवाणां कुलोद्भवः. So now it is very interesting that Rama is not the one who is asking. Vasishtha himself says, now let me tell you something more. See, it is not that always the student asks the question and the teacher responds after. No, sometimes the teacher also feels that certain points are to be addressed and they are very relevant to be addressed at a specific point and the teacher has to do. So that responsibility as a teacher he takes. Shrunu. Shrunu means listen. So listen, O Rama. What am I? So Rama, how is he addressed here? Raghavanam Kulodvaha. This is an address to Rama. Raghavanam Kulodvaha. Kulodvaha means the carrier of pride and prestige of the Kula. Vaha Udvaha means the one who upholds. Ud means up. Vaha means holds or carries. The one who upholds and carries the Kula, the respect of the clan. Of whom? Raghavana. So Raghu was a great Maharaja who was a predecessor or one of the ancestors of Rama. So Rama, the entire dynasty, the solar dynasty of Rama, starting from Ikshvaku, it is called as Raghukula. That's why Kalidasa wrote a kavya called as the Raghu Vamsha. Raghu was a very great king. There are stories you can read about Raghu Maharaja. So Raghavanam Kulodvaha. Oh Rama, you are the one who is upholding the pride and prestige of the Raghukula. Shrunu. Now listen. What should you listen from me? So, Katham Vinashyanti. Katham means how. Katham means how. Vinashyanti or overcome or removed. What are overcome and removed? Adhayaha, Vyadhayaha, Cha. So these adis and vyadhis, the manifestation of which we have discussed in detail. Katham, how. Vinashyanti, they are overcome, they are removed. Shrunu. And then very interesting observation that Vasishtha says that where do these adis and vyadhis manifest? Jayante Bhuta Panchake. So these adis and vyadhis, they manifest in the Panchabhutas. Very much connected to natural. Panchabhutas. Where of the 5 elements you know. Okay, we can understand that the body is made up of Panchabhuta, Panchabhutika Sharira. Does the mind have the elements, 5 elements? Is there an influence of the Panchabhutas on the mind? All the elements have the influence on the mind. So, from a yoga Sankhya perspective, the mind and the body, both of them belong to the realm of Prakriti only. So, Prakriti only, and hence the influence of Panchabhutas, Tanmatra, Ahankara, all these exist not only on this gross body and also on the subtle mind. And in Chandogya Upanishad we can see the food, the water, all that we consume, they have food and water, all these are aspects of Panchabhuta. They have their modifications or influences over the mind also. Anishthaha bhagaha tan manaha, the water that we drink that gets manifested. And also you can see there is an interesting story in the Chandogya Upanishad where that the mind and the food are connected. Where there is a story, the teacher Aruni calls the student Shvetaketu. So do you want to know the influence of food on the mind? Okay, let me give you an experiment, but it will be a difficult experiment. Are you ready to undergo this? He said, okay sir. So for the next 15 days, you have to consume only 15 morsels of food. So initially on the first day, you take 15 morsels of food. And then the next day, 14. Then 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So as a paksha goes by, as a fortnight goes by, slowly reduce your food intake by 1 morsel. So when it comes to Amavasya, your food intake is 0. So before the commencement, he asked certain Vedic questions on certain Vedic mantras. The student is able to recollect and respond. At the end of the 15 days, when the food intake has become 0, then again certain questions are asked. Memory is not helping him. And then the teacher asks, increase your food intake by 1 morsel. So 1, 2, on the Prathama, Vidya, Tatiya, Chaturthi. Finally, when the Purnima comes, he takes the 15 morsels of food, and then now he is able to respond properly. The question was asked and he could recollect and answer. So these are the beautiful examples in the Upanishads that people were subject to experiments. They were subjecting themselves for experiment to understand the influence of the effect on the mind, memory, etc. So when you say Bhuta Panchaka, the 5 elements in the form of food and other things that we intake not only has an influence on the body, also on the mind. So when there is imbalance, vitiation, improper food intake and such other things, adhis and jadhis, they influence the 5 elements which cause these imbalances and difficulties and discomforts both at the level of the mind and the body. So now listen from me, what are all the ways in which the illnesses, both adhis and jadhis, are managed. So that is a leading shloka. This is a leading shloka to the next section. That's a very logical, slow, systematic procedure. It is not that suddenly something is begun, proper prior notice is given. Now I will start discussing how to overcome the illnesses. That is the method in which you see all the Shastras. They methodically, systematically, they approach each and every topic. Now we come to the next shloka. Here also, very interesting, he doesn't jump into responding, these are the illnesses, come on, have a list of solutions for adhis. These are the illnesses of the mind, come on, have solution. No. Again, there is a classification which is given for Vyadhi, Samanya Vyadhi and Adhi and Sara Adhi. And so Samanya Sara division of Vyadhi is given, and then the management strategy is given. So again you can see a systematic methodical approach adopted by Vasishtha Maharshi. Vividho vyadhirasthiha,
Vividho vyadhirasthiha, Vividho vyadhirasthiha,
Samanya sara evacha,
Samanya sara evacha,
Two sections. Dvividho vyadhirasthi samanya sara eva cha. Vyavaharastu samanyah saro janmamaya smritah. Full shloka. Dvividho vyadhirasthi samanya sara eva cha. Vyavaharastu samanyah saro janmamaya smritah. Anyone wants to chant?
Dvividho vyadhirasthi samanya sara eva cha. Vyavaharastu samanyah saro janmamaya smritah.
Anyone else? The word split. Dvividha vyadhihi asti iha. Samanyah sarah eva cha. Vyavaharah tu samanyah sarah janmamayah smritah. So dvividho becomes dvividha. Vyadhirasti iha is split as a vyadhihi asti iha. And then sara eva, when you split that it becomes sarah eva. And then vyavaharastu is split as vyavaharah tu. Saro janmamaya becomes sarah janma. Can we all try? Now. Dvividha vyadhihi asti iha. Samanyah sarah eva cha. Vyavaharah tu samanyah sarah janmamaya smritah. Yes. So, before kind of suggesting the means, so Vasishtha himself said, Katham shuru vinashyanti. Listen to me, I will tell you how adhis and vyadhis are to be managed. He only started with that, but then before he thinks that I should give a classification of the illness, which can be really overcome, which can be managed. So to give that clarity, he has to divide the illness into two parts. So that he does in this shloka. Dvividha, twofold. What is twofold? Vyadhihi, illness. Asti, is there. Iha, here. In this life that we experience two types of vyadhis. What are the two types of vyadhis? Samanya, Sara, Eva cha. One is a Samanya, the normal general one, and Sara. Sara means the potent one. Sara is the potent one. And then what is the Samanya? To that, the commentator of Yoga Vasishtha says, what are the Samanya vyadhis? Shutta. Trishna, Stri, Putra, Lalasadihi, Tatsambhava. So the various kinds of physical and mental needs and requirements, the satiation or insatiation of that, which creates various kinds of problems, that is a samanyaha. I didn't get something, I failed in something, I became depressed. So again, food was not there at the right time, so then the acidity etc. was formed. So because of those normal things in life which have to be taken at the right time, and for the body and also for the mind, whatever expectations etc. were there. So if they are not met at that particular time, physiologically and psychologically, those expectations, if they are not met, immediately our body responds. So that is a samanya, and then a saraha. Saraha is that those which have deeper roots, which you cannot pinpoint to the manifestation. So why is there a headache? We see sometimes that a person has a severe headache. Then we understand that he has not eaten from the morning. So we give him the food, and then his mind settles down or his headache goes away, subsides. So those are samanya things which can be managed. Certain things are there which are chronic in nature, which don't go by addressing it at a surface level. So they are sara chronic illnesses which are called as sara vyadhi. So and then vyavaharaha tu samanyaha. Vyavahara means transactional. So samanya vyadhi, samanyaha tu vyavaharaha. The samanya illness is a transactional. By doing certain transactions, by giving certain solutions at the level of counseling, at the level of mind, and then whatever is required to the body at that level, so physiotherapy or some other things you give. There's some strain or pain is there, you give certain topical symptomatic responses you give. So that is a samanya, that is called as vyavahara. Samanya vyadhi or vyavahara, transactional in nature. Means if you give, we get back. If you don't give, we don't get back. That is transaction. What is normal transaction? There is an action, there is a reaction. So action reaction oriented thing is vyavahara, that is samanya. But certain things are not mere action reaction oriented. There is something deep which doesn't come from now and here, which may be inherited or genetic or whatever you can call. So that is a saraha. Saraha, janmamayaha smritaha, means it pervades the entire janma. It pervades the entire birth. From my birth I am like this only. So certain conditions, certain health factors. So janmamayaha, this may have, so which are chronic in nature, which are with us till the end. So that is the one meaning of Janmamaya. Another meaning that you can take for Janmamaya is that which comes from previous Janmas. So Sara Vyadhi are those which we inherit from the previous Janmas, or Sara Vyadhis are those which continue with us till the end of this Janma, this life. So Janmamaya Sara Vyadhi, Samanyaha Vyavaharika, transactional. So these two classifications are given. Then what is to be done for samanya vyadhi? What is to be done for sara vyadhi? That will be this is the systematic approach. Solution has to be given appropriately according to the division. So for that he creates that division. Now,
another way, samanya vyadhi can be dealt easily. We can deal with it.
Yeah.
So that is what is vyavahara.
Vyavahara has another interpretation. Yes.
Deal with it very easily.
We can transact with it. We can there is an action reaction, so we can make an impact on it.
But sara vyadhi is
Janmamaya. It is with us.
It's tough.
It is tough and it accompanies us till our so chronic an expression. If you want expression for chronic in Sanskrita, that is Janmamaya. Janmamaya, that will continue till this life exists. So that is Janmamaya Smrita. And one thing that I recollect, which I had noted down in convey, in the context of Mati, the mind has a Shubha, Ashubha divisions. In that regard, it is very interesting. that so what goes into the mind as Shubha and Ashubha karma. What are the classifications of karma? 3 classifications of karma is given in the karma. Doesn't mean the purva janma karma, punya, etc. I am not speaking about that. It is the karma threefold classification that Krishna gives: karma, akarma and vikarma. See what impacts the mind: karma, akarma and vikarma. What is karma? What has to be done? What is whatever is appropriate to be done in any given situation, that is karma. What is akarma? Is desisting from doing certain things. And then vikarma is wrong doings. So you can add to that matrix of praptani, aihiki, shubha, ashubha matrix. So what creates this shubha, ashubha impacts on the mind? It is the combination of karma, akarma, vikarma. Though it is very easily said, Krishna himself says, Kim karma kimakarneti avayogyatra mohitaha kahana karmano gatihi. It's very easy to make all these divisions, but at any given situation, what is the karma? Whether or not I should do, or have I done it wrongly, these are all split-second decisions that will have an impact on the mind. So hence, as things are very dynamic, very fluid, the influences on the mind are also very interesting to observe from a scientific perspective. So what are all the influences in this matrix or in this pattern? What influences the mind? You can add these 3 factors of karma, akarma and vikarma influencing the mind. Krishna also gives that it is not very easy to manipulate that. So one has to
Karma.
Yes.
Karma.
So you should know about karma, you should know about vikarma, and then what not to do at a given situation. From a health perspective also, is this applicable? Certain things are to be done for a healthy way of life. One should not do certain things, and if you do certain things wrongly, that everything will have an impact on the mind and the patterns that it sets for your life. So add that component also in the context of the previous shloka which I had noted. Now as Vasishtha has given the division of a Samanya and a Sara, first he takes up the easy one. So always easy to manage the easier one first. So what is the first one, easier one? Samanya. So solution to Samanya. Praptena bhimate naiva नश्यन्ति व्यावहारिकाः आधिक्षयेणाधिभाः क्षयेणाधिभवाः क्षीयन्ते व्याधयोऽप्यलम् Volunteers, chanting. Anyone who has not done? Yes.
प्राप्तेनाभिमतेनैव नश्यन्ति व्यावहारिकाः आधिक्षयेणाधिभवाः क्षीयन्ते व्याधयोऽप्यलम् प्राप्तेनाभिमतेनैव नश्यन्ति व्यावहारिकाः
So we quickly do the word split. Praptena, bit difficult. Praptena, abhimatena, eva. So three words are joined here. Praptena, abhimatena, eva. Nashyanti, vyavaharika. No problem there. Adhikshayena, adhibhavaha. Adhikshayena, adhibhavaha क्षीयन्ते व्याधयः अपि अहम्. So praptena abhimatena, how to split? Praptena abhimatena eva. No problem in nashyanti vyavaharika. Adhikshayena adhibhavaha. Adhikshayena adhibhavaha. Then क्षीयन्ते व्याधयोऽप्यलम्. व्याधयः अपि अलम्. Together. Praptena abhimatena eva nashyanti vyavaharikaः adhikshayena adhibhavaha क्षीयन्ते vyadhayah api alam. I will just reiterate one point before closing. Why are we doing this word split? I know you are aware of it. You will be writing your research papers. When you split the words and you are very clear about what each word stands for, how each word is split, then the authenticity of your someone from reviewers sees your paper and then this is haphazardly split. Why even a shloka is not split properly? Then what will be the interpretation? So just to one thing is for a reviewer to look at it properly and have a positive frame of the thing for your paper. That is one thing. Second thing is when you have the words clearly imprinted in your mind, words influence your thoughts. So improper, and again when you have to look into a dictionary, when you have to look into the dictionary, you have to look in for the right word. If you key in the right word, only you will get the meanings of it. So when you split the praptena, if you split the praptena bhimatena, then you search in the dictionary bhimata. What is bhimata? Will you get a bhimata in dictionary? No. Whereas if you in abhimata, you will get the meaning. So in this way, word splitting has so many implications, favorable but both for your understanding, for your research, writing, everything. Hence, this is not a futile exercise. This is a useful exercise. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
On that note of agreement, we will end. Yatas sarvani bhutani